Are you sometimes confused by the many time management courses and books and principles and methods you can apply to your everyday life? Then go download our free course on time management. It's only 3 things you need to focus on that will give you the 95% of the effect of being good at time management. So go download it right now. It's completely free. I've labeled this video the first rule of self-discipline because there's something we need to understand about who we are before we can start working on our self-discipline. Because just think about it, scientists basically agree on the fact that for 200,000 years we have had the same DNA as we have now. And for the majority of that time, like 99%, even more, we have been cavemen and cavewomen, living in nature, being completely dependent on our surroundings. Right? No running water, no computers, no internet, no heat in the houses. We could build a campfire and a little bit of a shelter, right? But basically, we're completely dependent on our surroundings. And just imagine being in that situation. You don't need self-discipline because everything is now and everything is inner urges. Why are you going hunting? Because I'm hungry, right? Why are you taking care of your kids? Because you have that inner urge to take care of them. It's a body thing. It's a natural instinct thing. So everything, and why are you getting up in the morning? Because the sun is up, because I slept enough, right? Why are you going to bed at night early? Because there's no light anymore. I can't see anything, right? So I might as well go to bed. These days, we got, artificial lighting, we got sugary sweets and stuff we can eat that isn't really good for us. Didn't exist back then. If you found an apple tree suddenly, right, you could eat all the apples you possibly could, and then that's cool. Or if you were getting fat during the summer when there was a lot of food available, that was cool because then you had that extra food on your body that you could eat when there wasn't food available during the winter, and it would keep you warm as well. So perfect, I wouldn't, prefer to live back then. But it's like every single time that human beings have improved their living condition, they have also put a new responsibility on themselves to live with that comfortable new thing, right? The second you have invented the car, you don't have to move very much. But shouldn't you move very much? The second you have invented the smartphone, you don't have to, or just the phone, you don't have to go to people and see them face to face to communicate with them. But should you not see people face to face? So there's a new thing that you have to think about, that you have to decide upon every single time we make life more comfortable and more secure. And in these days, everything is artificial. Everything is man-made. You're in a reality where very few things are actually dependent on nature. Or everything is, basically, right? But you have to make those choices all the time. What should I eat? Once upon a time, you could eat an apple from a tree, and it was sweet and good, and you were happy, and it was okay. Now, what's sweet and good is not good for you, because we created weird foods that really hurt our body, but taste amazing. Like Coca-Cola, right? Tastes like, this must be good for me. And the body really thinks so. That's why it tastes so good, right? But that's because we are messing with the body, with the body system of how to evaluate what is good and what is not good for you. Right? What is salty and fatty really tastes good as well, and that was good for you once. But the environment, nature, was kind of regulating how much of that you could get a hold on and how much you could take in. These days, it doesn't. What's salty and fatty and sugary is the cheapest thing ever, right? So you can have so you have to decide all the time. You have to work against your own body's inclination to go for the sweet stuff. Go for the comfort. Just lay down. You don't have to move anymore, right? But you should move all the time in order for you to be happy and enthusiastic and passionate if your body's just full of sugar, passive, like it wants to be. That's what it wants to be, because that's what it's programmed to be, right? For 200,000 years, that was a really good help to seek out those things. So you were living in an environment, of a couple of thousand years ago that was just natural. You had your urges, you never needed self-discipline. Now you need it all the time, basically. If you want to be successful in this reality and have a great life, just on the basis of not having a body that's pulling you down and making you depressed all the time, or making enough money to have the whole thing go around and to not feel limited all the time. You have to make choices and you have to follow through on them, even though the body says something else, even though your brain is saying something else. That's the challenge. And don't think it's not there. We start, when we talk about self-discipline, on the upper level. We start on that level and say, okay, you need to develop self-discipline. Why? You need to understand that you are not a self-disciplined creature and that you are the opposite. That's why self-discipline is working against your natural inclinations on a daily basis. How do you do that, right? But don't think it's easy, right? That's a mistake. Oh, I'm so self-disciplined. It should be easy, right? It shouldn't be easy. And you will never get there. Sorry. It's always something you deal with. It's always decisions you make. And that's what we need to understand before we move into any higher level of working on our self-discipline.